Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
In the delicate arena of compliance, every conversation matters. Traditional methods can leave callers feeling unheard, but Ethico changes the game. Our empathetic interview technique reshapes compliance calls into powerful, compassionate interactions, ensuring no crucial detail is missed. It's about creating a conversation that matters, that resonates, that makes a difference. Be the change in your compliance approach. See the transformation for yourself at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo, try our free ROI calculator, and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, The ROI of Compliance.
The Daily Compliance News for May 15, 2024, the PCAOB edition. And we begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, CFO Journal. Mark Maurer reporting that the PCAOB has adopted tighter rules on auditor quality controls. They found they're requiring audit firms to do more to ensure the quality of their work, a move aimed at improving the effectiveness of audits while updating decades-old rules. The board voted 4-1 on Monday to approve the rule to bolster the controls that guide how audit firms perform their audit. Under existing rules, audit firms need to have policies and procedures to cover such areas as ethics, personnel, management, and audit engagement performance as a part of their quality controls. The regulator inspects audit firms' approaches to quality controls, among other things. Firms have to assess the risks associated with achieving effective quality controls. Next up, in a really interesting article in The Economist, of all places, asks, did the DOJ steal the Unaoil case from the SFO in the United Kingdom? And it's a pretty damning article. And the SFO really does not come out well in this article. And it shows that the United States was able to move the case to the United States, where the perpetrators of Unaoil have yet to be brought to justice. Next up, from Reuters, there have been multiple attacks on the National Labor Relations Board, the NLRB, as being unconstitutional. Of course, these are all hogwash since it was ruled constitutional some 90 years ago, but recent attacks by Starbucks have led a NLRB administrative judge not to take that claim and say that it needs to be handled by a federal court, because to do so would, at least in part, be in tension with his duty to faithfully administer the NLRA. So looks like Starbucks will have to go to federal court. And our final story comes to us from the FT, which reports on the dearth of auditors in the United States, and the leaders of the accounting profession have signaled they would cut the educational requirements for becoming an accountant amid the growing alarm of the shortage of new recruits. The AICPA dropped its opposition to calls to reduce the amount of university education needed to qualify for a CPA. The bar is currently set at 5 years, 1 year longer than that required to get an undergraduate degree. Perhaps we can start a turnaround on this dearth of accountants. As I mentioned at the start of this podcast, this month's sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Have you ever wondered how to show the ROI of your compliance program? Have you struggled with the budgeting process, getting the funds you want for your compliance program? Well, I've partnered with Ethico to put together a white paper on the ROI of compliance, which shows you not only how to demonstrate ROI, but also how to speak finance when you're sitting across from the CFO with your budget proposals. Check out the website and get the white paper. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.